Yeah, hello, now welcome back again to Bod TV. But where would they analyze it till they happen? My people, I salute now. I know you have finished. I then want to watch this video to the end. This is a comparison of waiting Peter Ayodele, former governor of Ekiti State, waiting come out, come talk. We want to compare him to waiting Arambabi still talk, against LP. The thing shock us if you look these two comparison. Peter Ayodele na PDP, but he supports Tinubu for APC. Now, Arambabi, that former video I feel break off on, I'm gonna watch. Arambabi, where he be LP, can they support Tinubu? The whole thing can confuse me. So, okay, Adebisi will put LP for Arambabi and their Lamidi Akpakpa and that means this whole thing for no get head. My people strong go. You say they represent party, but yet you dey against the candidate when the party bring come out. You dey support another party candidates. You want talk, you say you feel say it ain't right for the power to move to the south. But yet you say you don't go come up for that party. The thing shock me. The Arambabi on his own, I will bring the video come out. I'll see show or I'll just show the thumbnail of the video for this video why they make so that me you go back, me go watch them. It constantly talk say why Peter Obi they fully safe. Say Peter Obi don't lose. Make it rest. Make they run, they go tribunal up and down, say no go win. Make it let Tinubu reign. Like for real. But yet you say you represent LP. I mean, in fact, enemy plenty for inside house, my people. Hey, Agbona, wait, big. It's so strong. I couldn't wonder what seeing Peter Ayodele, the top former governor of Ekiti State. Even to the extent, say this man, in case of say he thief money, say he thief plenty money, the case still there with EFCC. When they even ask him, he said they don't even go into that matter. In fact, he nearly once slapped the journalist when they interview him. He said not even go into that matter at all. Say he too small. He said he too small to answer that kind of question. Say as far as say the case don't deal with EFCC, make it remain there. Hey God. Who do us? My people, I just this small comparison of Arambabi on and Peter Ayodele when I bring come on and see what scene betrayal they do inside party. Not only party, it dey happen for everywhere. And this one I constantly draw us go the connection of this our former late Sani Abacha. The money where they realize. How they do the money, we not know. How they loot the $50 billion, my people. We not know. They say so they require them. They bring the money come for Jesse. The one where they Swiss bank. The one where they that bank. The one where they other that bank. They can't get everything. They say in fact, and the money not be here. Hey, my people. That's what they see flash of our former past president. Many people get questions to ask, so my people, many people get answer to still give us. Hey, and this small video now I just bring comfort. I'm gonna just see what did happen. Oh, hey, in fact, we not see forget our judgment. We dey one corner, we dey wait for the tribunal. May they give us our final verdicts, my people. This one be all the TV, but let's make I just wait throw this one and give you now. I use one to understand what they go on for the meantime. I beg don't forget to share, subscribe, and like this video. I'm not gonna watch until the end. Now do hello, now bye bye.
With reactions trailing an order by the Federal High Court in Abuja requesting the federal government to account for the $5 billion Abacha loot and for the details of this spending to be made public in a judgment delivered on July 3rd in a case filed by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project. The presiding judge, James Omotosho, ordered President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to disclose the exact amount of money stolen by General Sani Abacha from Nigeria, the total amount recovered, and all agreements signed by the governments of former presidents Olusegun Obasanjo, Umaru Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari. The judge also ordered the government to disclose the details of the projects executed with the Abacha loot, locations of any such projects, and the names of companies and contractors that carried out the projects since the return of democracy in 1999 till date, as well as the specific roles played by the World Bank and other partners in the execution of any projects funded with the Abacha loot. Well, let's take some reactions, Dr. Abati, before we discuss. This is from Arinze, who wrote, "How did $5 billion leave Nigeria? Where did the funds come from? Which federal government account? How was it taken abroad? Where was it placed?" Then we can begin to discuss how it came back and so on. I guess he posed a lot of questions there. This is from Dr. Bature. He wrote, "This is a win for Nigeria at large. Courtesy Serap Nigeria. The $5 billion truly needs to be accounted for. What are the projects executed with the recovered loot? We didn't feel the positive impact of the recovered loot. I hope there will be full compliance with the judgment. It is our money." Dr. Abati, it is our money. I know you always use that. I mean, Nigerians are saying it is our money. But again, it is a big win for Serap. You know that Serap has been doing the Lord's work in, filing these cases. And this is a new administration. And I'm hoping that they will do right by this judgment. That is actually the question. What's going to happen? This judgment, they're saying that it should comply within 7 days. What's going to happen if there's no compliance?
Number one, yes, I agree with you absolutely. That is a big win for SERAP, Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, a civil society group, a non-governmental organization that has been very active, that has been in the forefront of raising questions about the economy, about accountability, and using the Freedom of Information Act majorly as a tool of engaging the Nigerian state. Now, the major issue here is about the right of the citizen to know.
Yes.
Because we have the right to know. So when you say it is our money, what you are saying also is that the people who are the owners of the money have the right to know how that money was spent. That's number one. Number two, it's also a reminder of the kind of corruption that went on under General Sani Abacha. As the Nigerian government, one after the other, got money either from Switzerland or the Cayman Islands or from New Jersey, Abacha got a new title as the ancestor that is always given from the grave, because it looks like there was no end, to the amount of money that have been stashed away, which is also why in many of these African countries, and also at the level of the AU, this illicit illicit transfer of national treasure to banks overseas to safe havens has been a major problem. Now, let me go back to the point about how it's a triumph for SERAP in terms of using the Freedom of Information Act. Justice James Omotosho based the ruling on Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act. Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act simply says that, look, if a public institution is going to deny access to information that is being requested, now you must state reasons why you are not granting that access. And you must communicate same to the body or group that is asking for that information, the applicant, seeking access to that particular information. If you do not do so, you are liable under that Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act to a fine of 500,000 naira, and the applicant can seek redress in court. So what SERAP has done is to go to court, and the court has now ruled that the Ministry of Finance cannot avail itself of the provisions of Section 7 of the Freedom of Information Act. So it's simply, a matter of law. And the expectation is that the Ministry of Finance must respect the ruling of the court. Okay, it has the option of going on appeal, but the ruling of the Court of Justice Omotosho for now is that within 7 days, it must comply. What the court has done is to stress accountability, is to hold the Ministry of Finance down to the people's right to know how their money was spent. It was looted, it was returned, how was it spent? I think, the ruling is very straightforward, and it is, you know, it is something that will gladden the hearts of many people who have been seeking enforcement of freedom of information. And many people must be alarmed that the Federal Ministry of Finance will say it has no records.
This is my question.
No, how can the Ministry of Finance of Nigeria not have records?
Yes, this is it.
This is the bigger question.
How did that happen, Rufai? I mean, you talked about some of the loot that had been returned, I believe one from Jersey, and then I think that they had shared that money in that social register. I don't know if you recall that. I think that was 2 years ago.
I mean, the loan was done with the money.
With that money. But you know, this is the first time that we are seeing that it's $5 billion that aggregate, because, you know, there was a lot of discrepancy whether it was $3 billion or whether...
Yeah, so...
I mean, it's good that we're seeing this
I
now.
mean, so Serap says $5 billion. God knows it could be more.
Yeah.
Because what we know was that the monies they started returning from the early 1999 to 2000. Swiss government returned a couple, 750 million, you know, in trickles. I think there was an infographic by the BBC a couple of years ago that says 3.25 billion. We don't know how much exactly is the money. I remember the case you were talking about, Malami, the last tranche of return. They said the government was going to be put into some highway, I think Abuja, Kano highway, and the condition and all of that, which a lot of people kicked against, but they said those were the conditions. And I think the Attorney General there, Malami, defended it. And we had all of this go on for a while. The question is, we deceive ourselves too much in this country. Because you ask a question, how did the money go out? The bagmen that helped him carry that money out, they're still around in Nigeria today. They're living a good life, and life has moved on. We all know what happens in this country. So people are not corrupt alone. They do it with other bagmen. And help them bag the money out, and they're free people today. And the truth has to be said. If we truly want to build this country, let us have a country that has a lot of integrity. We can laugh about it and say, oh, Abacha now is our ancestor sending us money. But this is the money they ought to use to build schools and do infrastructure for people. Some of these monies were carried in cash out of this country.
So sad.
We all remember. And this was a man. Abacha got in 1993 after he removed the National Cup from Fidihe, and he died on the 8th of June 1998. In 5 years, he bled the country dry. Do you know how many more people are bleeding the country with their bagmen? Is this one? Maybe it's because of the magnanimity of the foreign nations that say, oh, come and see, you have money here. What if we never got? Do you know how many? The chance. And we're saying Nigeria is broke, is poor. Because people are fleecing the country dry every day. People and their bagmen that are still around are moving everywhere. Wasn't the foreign leader that once said, when we're asking for debt relief, and the foreign leader said, if you check the bank accounts of Nigerians abroad, you would not even want to forgive Nigeria's debts. And the money was put in every part, Switzerland, Jersey, and all of that. But their accomplices are around, and we move on, and we celebrate them in society. You see, this country is a country that we've built in such a way that only favors those that are on the top, and those below can go and die. But except we change our status quo, nothing will change. Yes. So for your question that you asked, how did the money move around? The bagmen are still very much around, and life has moved on from there. Yes. Well, and I'm also happy, Serap is, as Dr. Bati said, asking for FY to be able to get all the details of this and all of that. But the sad reality is, as we speak, maybe in the future, when we get to look back, a lot of something is still happening. It's Nigeria. It's the corruption. The day we change that mentality and use the money for the citizen, Nigeria will be better. Yes. We can actually build a great country. Yes, but we see what happens because of corruption.
You talked about integrity in leadership. We're hoping that this new administration will be able to account for those funds.
Are you still a member of the PDP?
Very correct. I am a member of the PDP. Except the PDP says, Fayoshe, we don't want you anymore. Then they set me free of the hooks. But in all sincerity, it is a party that I believe in, I subscribe to, and I want to say forever, I will never join the APC.
So if you say you are never going to join the APC, there are those who have the view that, yes, bodily, you might not be in the APC, but in spirit and by your conduct, you are behaving like a member of the APC. And in fact, they say they now see you as an outsider within the PDP. In fact, some of your critics within the PDP believe you are more or less, how do they describe you now? They're seeing you as, there is a word that one of your critics describe, the way they describe you as a mole, in the PDP, Governor Fauci. I was looking for the right word. Please go ahead.
Well, Shehu, I don't know if you are hearing me, but let me say to you very clearly, I have never hidden my position on Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Let me remind you very quickly, I never knew Asiwaju would be president of Nigeria. And there was no intention in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018. Every birthday of Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu, I celebrate him on the pages of newspaper as the then governor of Ekiti State. And one of the messages I passed across at that time is that party politics notwithstanding, you will remain our leader in the West for long and for too long. And that is not deniable. He wasn't a president in 2015, 2016, 2017. When the APC was playing games, I stood up to remind President Buhari that Asiwaju was instrumental largely to your coming as president of Nigeria. As a Yoruba man, he deserves to be accorded the necessary respect. And I want to tell you again, Shehu, in 2021, I said all the shenanigans against Tinubu, those behind you will be defeated. I never knew he would be president of Nigeria. When he got back from the knee surgery trip that he went to, I openly, during the day, went to Bod Tv to welcome him to Nigeria. Let me equally tell you, Shehu, I have counted the costs before I took those actions. If Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu is not an example to identify with, somebody like me will not identify with him. And let me tell you, till today, I've said it severally, I have not materially, by position, benefited from Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. So I have no reasons to cringe. Let me equally tell you, when there was an election that brought Governor Fayemi in 2009 or 2010, thereabouts, I was in Bod Tv with Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. Then he was the leader of the Action Congress. We agreed that he told me to join APC, and I told him no, I was going to be in Labour Party. And he told the then Governor Fayemi that you must support Ayo Fayose in whatever party he contests to be a senator in 2011. By and large, they brought Ojudu from nowhere, and he became the senator. So that clearly shows you that I had a relationship with Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And let me round up by telling you, sir, I was the first Nigerian, despite being a member of the PDP, to say that it is the turn of the South. Without apologies, I repeat it again, that I have no regrets making that statement. Beyond the party politics, we must be upright leaders of our country to say it as it is. Nobody in Nigeria has done a throwback on me for inconsistency in my statements, in my assertions. Nobody has said that against me. So for me for PDP members or PDP saying this is about me, let me remind you again, I am 63 years of age. I won't jump from one bed to another. I would rather leave politics if it will get to that stage. When Buhari became president, majority of the PDP members in 2015 took us to where we are today. PDP will have still been in power. Criticizing Asiwaju Bola Tinubu now, after the party was badly balkanized, would that be the fault of Fayose? I never hid my position on the G5, and I openly came out, I've said it, that I supported Asiwaju. Now, election has come and gone. We are in governance. Do we now say that Asiwaju is the president of APC? The answer is no. If I can go to Bodilon to see him during the day without hiding, going to the villa is what?
Governor Fayose, if I may jump in.
When Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu was governor in Nigeria, we were the second set, class 2. The Asiwaju group set was class 1. So in all entitlements, I say it boldly, I am a leader in this country. If I need to see Asiwaju again tomorrow, I will tell him I'm coming. I will go there. So the governors of PDP now and the governors of APC, they are all preparing to go and see Asiwaju. They sent messages to all of us to come to Benga Daniel's house so that we can find an appointment to see him. Is it to go and congratulate him or for them to remember that you should remember them as former governors? That's the truth. So I am here.
Governor Fayose, let me jump in quickly. So where do you leave loyalty? If you say you're a member of the PDP and you're saying with member of another party, when your party is still challenging the outcome of the election in court, would you say you're a loyal member of the party, or where does your loyalty lie?
Don't get it wrong. Don't get it wrong. We did not support Atiku. Don't get it wrong, oh.
So you walked against Atiku. You walked against Atiku.
100%.
And you are happy to do that because as a member of the PDP, as a leader of the PDP? Is that the right thing to do, morally speaking?
Nigeria is bigger than PDP, bigger than APC, bigger than Asiwaju himself. Let us call a spade a spade. I'm not a man that will hide my actions. I'm not the man that will hide my actions. I supported Asiwaju. You know, what's his name? Senator Dino Malai said publicly that the results from Ekiti were questionable. The answer is that I replied to Senator Dino Malai that we provided the difference. If PDP doesn't need me again, you understand, they cannot say I cannot leave. But I love the PDP, and that's why I'm no more hitting the PDP. PDP has not been fair to me. I was the only one that fought this party, fighting Buhari throughout. If I have defected to another party as a sitting governor, I will have honor, but I never did that. I am a principled man. So let me say to you, Sheung, I never worked for PDP during the last election. And telling me to go to court and start saying this, I am not a liar, I'm not a pretender. I did not work for PDP.
Well, is
I
that
cannot
right?
work for two people at the
Governor
same time.
Fayose, is that right? As a PDP member, is it politically right? Is it morally justified for you to openly on live television, national television, to say you worked against a candidate of your party? Is that what you be telling those who are your followers to do? Isn't loyalty the name of the game?
This is not the first time I will say this thing. No. I am not a pretender of any sort. I'm not a pretender.
But I'm asking, I mean, you've said it, but is it
it.
right? I'm asking, is it right?
The reality is that I worked for Asiwaju. Asiwaju is a Southwest, is a Yoruba man of note. Asiwaju is a respectable person in the West. Let me tell you again, Sheung, today, if a Northerner had won this election, you will not see those people going to the Villa there. It is the time of the South. Buhari has done 8 years. When there's a problem in the society, it is the elders that resolve that problem. I am a responsible Nigerian. My position is the turn of the South. In 2015, majority of our party leaders, including The former Vice President Atiku Abubakar left the PDP and went to support Buhari. So don't let us go there. I am not a 29, 30-year-old man. Oh. If the working committee does whatever they like, there will be another set of leaders of the party someday who will understand that when you don't do the right thing, you will not get the right results.
So what is it that is it? What was it that the PDP did to you that was wrong?
The same PDP, because I said it was the turn of the South, removed my son, suspended my son, expelled my son, suspended me. For a man that has suffered tremendously for PDP, Ayofayoshe is my name. Buhari cannot forget me in a jiffy. I stood my grounds on the affairs of Nigeria the same way I'm standing my ground. What do I want to gain when Nigeria is not on course, when our party is playing games? The party was playing games. They know the right thing that Buhari had done. I was a member of the zoning committee. My position at the zoning committee was that South must be the turn of the South. So what I'm saying, others might hide. I am not hiding, Oshewu.
So for you,
I said it since last year.
So for you, Governor Fayoshe, it was a matter of injustice by the party, and you frowned at the fact that you and your son were suspended from the party. I mean, if the party did that, are you bigger than the party? Isn't the party supreme?
The issues are beyond my son and myself. The issue of my son and myself were later incidents. The issues are simply issues of loyalty to Nigeria and loyalty to the party. We never knew whether Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu will win the election or he will not win the election. We never knew whether Obi will win the election or will not win the election. What we simply did was to stand on the side of Nigeria. 8 years of the of the North, another 8 years of the South. If Obi had won this election, what I'm saying is what I will be saying. I'm sorry, Shehu. North under Buhari has done 8 years. And I'm telling you again, without apologies, it is the turn of the South. If PDP take actions against me, I will take them to court. Power does not stop with a political party. Already I'm in court with another matter. Every day I'll go to court. It's part of democracy. Nobody can suppress anybody's voice. And if anybody suppresses my voice, I will say things more than this. I will create more problem more than this. I'm entitled to my voice minimally, especially in matters. Our rights as a political party stopped when the rights are infringed upon at the expense of the Nigerian Constitution and in interest of Nigerians. So, Shehu, I did not hide. I supported Asiwaju in it. I joined hands to work for Asiwaju. So, the issue of myself and my son were issues of a later time.
All right,
but they were fallout.
Yeah, let me quickly take you up. And these are some of the issues that are being raised as part of those who think the real reasons of you going to Asiwaju is because that you went to beg the president over your case in court with the EFCC. You are still answering questions over allegations of 6.9 billion fraud, which the EFCC has dragged you to court for. And that is perhaps one of the reasons why you went to the villa to beg the president. This is one of the things that your critics within the PDP had raised when they saw you at the villa. All right, apologies everyone for the glitch in the communication there. We'll take a break, everyone. But when we return, we'll reconnect with Governor Ayodele Fayoshe, our conversation on the state of the nation, state of affairs of the PDP, and governance under Bod Tinubu. We continue. Thank you so much, everyone, and welcome back to the conversation right here on Channels Television. A former governor of Ekiti State, Governor Ayodele Fayoshe, has been speaking with us on the program. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Apologies for the glitch in the line of communication there, and I guess you can hear me clearly.
Yes, I can hear you, Shehu, now.
Perfect. All right, let's get back to the conversation now. As soon as some of your friends and some of the critics in your party saw you at the villa, this was what they said. They said that you went to the villa to beg the president over your case with the EFCC in court. You're still answering questions over allegations of 6.9 billion naira fraud, which the EFCC dragged you to court over. And that is the primary reason why you went to the president to see him at the villa. How do you react to that?
Well, before I go into that, Shehu, let me say this. You know, we had a conversation about loyalty. I want to remind the PDP members and indeed Nigerians about this. In 2011, the party zoned the speakership to the Southwest. And rather than everybody to follow suit, rather than Southwest, Governor Tambuwa took that slot. So people criticizing me should be students of history to remember that sometimes when the party takes a position, you still have people that have different position. Recently, Iyari contested that position despite party's position against Akpabio. So they should not go to that area. They should just let us keep our secret. Coming back to your question, may I say to you, Shehu, that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has no powers to stop this EFCC trial. My trial has been on for over 5 years. So bringing him into that is a cheap blackmail for people who are uncomfortable. Already, there is a case before the court, reasonably hard. Will President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed tell the EFCC to stop? Or what will he say? Or will he call the judge? So we should be reasonable in our comments. And above all, this matter is before the court. It is not right for me as the defendant to start rationalizing and say things. Let us preserve the integrity of the system. I leave it like that.
So I wanted to listen to these very short soundbite. This was a meeting conducted by the PDP to post-mortem the election and do some internal reflections. And this is one of the leaders of the PDP and their reasons and their belief. And I'll get my next question from that soundbite. Take a listen to them.
This meeting is the first meeting after the general elections. And we carefully and deliberately call for this meeting to, in a way, douse the pressure or the tension within the party as a result of the aftermath of the 2023 elections. This party believes Atiku Abubakar won this election. But we're in court. And without prejudice to what the court will decide, we'll keep it aside.
So the PDP believes that it won the 2023 presidential election. What's your view on the stance of the PDP?
Shehu, don't let us preempt the courts. It is everybody's right to say that they won election. It is Asiwaju's right to say he won election. It is PDP's right to win, to claim they won election. And Obi, but they've all submitted themselves to the jurisdiction of a court. Don't let us take this matter off the hands of the court. I don't want to hit the PDP. Neither do I want to watch brief for APC or Asiwaju in matters that are before the court. For me, another 6 months or 4 months maximum, we'll hear the outcome and the position of the court. Nobody will tell you my market is bad. Oh. You see an Igbo man now, he will tell you, you want original or fake. So everybody is claiming his own is original. But one thing I want to ask, all respect, let us put Asiwaju aside in this context. who won this election between Atiku? Let us say they all said Asiwaju stole this election. But coming to Atiku and Obi, who won this election? I mean, we are not small boys. If Atiku and Obi cannot say, oh, it was Obi that won, it was Atiku that won, then we are practically wasting our time. And I say this, our party was badly balkanized before the election. I'm not saying this to hit the PDP, but I'm being realistic.
Well, I mean, aren't you one of those, Governor Fauci, aren't you one of those who helped to balkanize the PDP? Because, I mean, there are those who believe that there were intentional acts of you and some of your friends to mess up the chances of Atiku and the PDP.
I did not deny that.
Yeah, but there are those who hold the view that this is perhaps for some selfish reasons too.
Whatever reason, everybody exists for a reason. You know? The reason is that I want the South to be president. I am not sorry about that. You know? North has done 8 years. It is the turn of the South. Don't let us go to all anybody. I don't care.
But if you were not supporting Bola Tinubu, would you have supported Peter Obi? Since he was the southern president you were looking for.
Let me tell you very clearly now. In the G5, at our last meeting, we took the following decisions. And the decision is that anywhere Obi has upper hand, work for Obi there. That was why Benue governor worked for Obi. In Ekiti, it was Asiwaju that has the chance. I and all that believes in me work for Asiwaju. And that was the pattern at the time. There's no denying. Governor Cross Rivers and others had Obi as the major issue in their state. They worked for Obi. Don't let us deny the reality. I worked for Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. My name is Ayo Peter Fayose Oshuku Molekuke. I cannot at this age be denied what I did. That is the truth. Do you want me to work for a party who suspended my son? It's not possible. Do you want me to work for a party who expelled my son? The answer is no. So, do you want me to work for a party who dissolved the status quo because I said it's a southern presidency? The answer is no. I just told you now that Governor Tambuwa said PDP zone to Southwest for speakership. Governor Tambuwa divided the system, took that position of a party, off the hands of a party, and became the speaker. Don't let us be, every party has intrigues. Yari fought the APC to take the Senate presidency. What are you talking about, Shehu? I'm not looking for your job. Don't look for my own, Shehu. Leave the matter inside the PDP and APC. I did not hide. I work for Asiwaju. And I didn't start to work for Asiwaju today. Not for party politics, but for my belief in his person.
All right. So
let me tell you, I'm not
please.
looking for position.
So if President Tinubu offers you a ministerial position, you won't take it?
I will never take it.
You will never work for this government. Is that what you're saying?
Let me tell you something small. If I want to be honest with you again, some people may not like to hear this. Any of us that has reached the age of 70, almost 65 and above, Asiwaju should tell us to go and bring our children, our grown-up children, well-educated. Already their future has been stolen. The future of these young people are already stolen. They have rolled over their time with our time. Let me tell you very straightforward. If the future is for these young people, Asiwaju, to my own view, and I share this with him, and I'm saying it again, it should be 40% for oldies like us, 30% for women, 30% for young people. So that's my view.
Did you tell the
Nigeria will
president
only move forward
this?
when we.
Did you tell the president what you just said now?
I'm not hiding myself. My view is the position of the president to take whichever way he goes. It's an advice. 40% for all cargoes. A majority have had a taste of government more than 3, 4, 5 times. Yes, they are still relevant to governance. They have a lot to offer. But young people in government must be 30% and women 30%. Ashwaju himself, Obi, Atiku promised that they will put young people into power. What you don't do to put me into power, I cannot inherit power through it. With all due respect, this is my position. I'm unchanging.
All right. Let me get your view on this. A portion of the European Union report on the 2023 elections, I don't know if you've gotten time to read through those recommendations and the report of the European Union, but a portion of that report was read at the Presidential Election Tribunal Court, and I'd like to quote that portion. It says, quote, "The 2023 general election did not ensure a well-grown, transparent and inclusive democratic process as assured by the Independent National Electoral Commission." How do you react to this? Invariably, they are inferring that the election was not as transparent as promised by INEC.
So when a thing is not transparent equitably, it affects everybody. In Adamawa, let me start from there. Atiku won with landslide. Obi and Asiwaju didn't do well. So in the East, Obi took the space completely. In Enugu, for instance, or Abia, Asiwaju got 4,000. Even PDP did slightly better. They all maximized at their domain. Don't let us come here and be telling stories. All this EU report, I would not say it's not good, though. Let them keep writing. Our peculiarity is our peculiarity. Asiwaju, in his own case, lost in his base. So, can Asiwaju not equally manipulate in his base and make the figures? And let us go beyond that. Kwankwaso won in his base, which shows that Asiwaju became helpless in terms of manipulation and not watching brave for him and following the trend. The EU did not accuse any of the aspirants. INEC will not be police on election day, will not be military on election day, will not be the electorate themselves. The issue is that when you are blaming INEC, blame everybody, blame Nigerians. I've told you severally, election, we have to sit down and get it right. The desperation of the politicians will ever keep INEC helpless forever. In the Ekiti election in 2018, they hit me with the gun on my back, on the back of my head. Everybody was saying Fayose was not popular. Nobody blamed INEC at the time because he favored certain interests. But today, I have moved on. Let EU, where were they when I was calling them, when they hit me with gun on the head? Where were they? Let them enjoy their report. The report is noted. But let me tell you, the report cannot tell the court because you cannot monitor than your polling units. Those EU, were they in my polling units? When the court can only talk about polling unit, the capacity of the court does not go beyond that. When you come to tell the court about Nigeria, were you the witness? Will the witness be everywhere at the same time? So I don't want to speak for the court. I don't want to speak for PDP. I don't want to speak for APC. For me, that election has come and gone. We have left it in the purview of the court. Let's wait for the court.
How would you describe the election? Free, fair, or with challenges? Is it better than 2019?
Sorry, far better. Let me tell you the truth. PDP will have won that election. if we didn't have a organized house. Imagine Anubi working with Atiku. Imagine a Konkonso working with Atiku. Imagine Wike working with Atiku. What are we saying? We don't deceive ourselves. We failed before the election. The election, we failed. You understand? Till today, if a PDP is still dissolving state ESCOs, still fighting some people after the loss of that election, where are we going? Except we stop all these shenanigans. Me, I don't want to beg for space. So. The PDP needs total reconciliation. Total reconciliation. Except that we will remain a party in party politics and not in government. But I don't want to speak for the court.
So, Governor Fayose, I'm hearing and I understand that some of your friends in the G5 are preparing to move to the APC. Is that right?
That is far from the truth.
Or will you be going with them?
So, I've said it earlier. I've always said this. I will never be a member of the APC. I've gotten to a statesman's position now. I'm not contesting any election again. You will never see me asking for the electorals for votes. In fact, we can serve the country without necessarily being in any position. If I need anything, I will call any governor. If I need anything, I will call Asiwaju himself. Pata, they will tell me, no way, we can't do it. Okay, your 8 years will come and gone. So I am not somebody that will be begging for due favors. I have paid my dues. I have served this country. 200 million population. I have been governor twice. I am content. I thank God and I appreciate Nigeria, especially Ekiti people.
So, I mean, I'm asking if some of your friends in the G5 are on their way to the APC. Is that right?
I said that is far from the truth. At the former governor of Benin is the oldest. At his age, if he's even the campaign, his children must disown him. The Wike, I know, the Wike, I can sleep and write about Wike. Forget that if Wike will leave PDP. Tell PDP leadership to put their house in order. If you are not doing the right thing.
But are you aware of perhaps the conversation between Governor Wike and President Tinubu? Because you were not part of that meeting where they're coming out of the villa. The pictures are on the screen. Because what we are hearing is the possibility of Governor Wike being in the cabinet.
What is wrong with that? How is anybody affected by that?
Is it likely to happen?
I will never. I don't want to be minister. But if actually you say you want to be the minister and I agree, what is the headache? Pata, you say you are not a member of your party. During Abacha's regime, about 4 or 5 Afenifere members, or is it Afenifere or the Yoruba Awolowo allies, joined the Abacha government. Are we not talking Nigeria? Is it made for one person? I want Wike to be in cabinet. My brother, Wike has what it takes to serve Nigeria. Wike is an articulate capacity person. Nigeria needs average smart person. Oh. I support Wike. If Asiwaju finds him worthy or any of the G5 worthy, please serve in Asiwaju's government. I will be disappointed if Asiwaju does not equally appreciate them for what they stand to represent. No apologies for that. Wike must serve. Wike is a man, is still a young man. I'm his senior brother. He can't deny that. He can abuse me when he's on the program. But let me tell you, Wike is an asset to Nigeria. He's a man of courage. Wike is never timid. He confronts challenges. Asiwaju needs a man like Wike. That's the gospel truth. That's the truth.
Let me get to the fact that some of the conversations you had with President Tinubu, some of which you reviewed, but as much as you're one of those who applauded President Tinubu about his initial days policies, but there are also the downside to it. There are the direct effect of his policies on the average person in Nigeria. Were you able to speak with him because you are more on the street than he is? Are you able to tell him, because you are friends, were you able to Tell him that there are effects and implication of those policies, subsidy removal, the floating of the naira. A few of these issues are affecting the pockets of the average citizen. Were you able to talk to him about that?
Sure. Thank you for those questions. Asiwaju took those decisions that Buhari failed to take. Asiwaju was courageous enough to take those positions. Listen, look at the level of borrowing. Was it Asiwaju that was borrowing money before his coming? Please don't call a dog a bad name or because you want to hang him. I identify with the average Nigerian who is going through a lot of issues today. So when you have issues, they start one day, they don't end one day. Nigerians' problem has started a while ago. Asiwaju has come to fix it. You know, at a reception between Buhari and Asiwaju, he said, I campaigned, I went round, I said, I want this job, don't pity me. He's gotten the job, he's fixing it, he's telling the whole world, this is the only way to go. President Buhari did not put subsidy in the budget. Asiwaju said, when I become president, I will remove subsidy. He has done exactly what he said he would do. It's like Trump. Trump says, I will do this, I will do this. And he did it. Asiwaju said, I will withdraw, I will remove subsidy. Thank you for keeping to your promise, President Tinubu. Peter Obi said, I will remove subsidy. Atiku says, I will remove subsidy. Like a common saying in Yoruba land, what is left in he has to remove the subsidy in line with his promise. So don't let us go there. Don't call him names, because if Atiku remove subsidy, we will support Atiku. If Obi remove subsidy, because they all said it, they didn't hide it. So, and let me tell you, sir, that subsidy is scam. We all know it. When Saraki was president of the Senate, they all said, when they were in APC, they all said that the fuel we are using in Nigeria is not as much as they captured. They go to sell to other countries, which shows that Asiwaju must take a decisive decision. But when the righteous...
Governor Fauci, is a lot of the poor masses of this country, the average person whose voice is not really heard, that is the crux of the matter. Government might make its policies. Palliatives are being said that it will come. But then the sufferings of the people continue. You are a leader in this country. You have affirmed this tonight. But what will stop that suffering?
So if Asiwaju had removed that subsidy without saying he would remove it, then he would be guilty against the people. They still voted for him, despite the fact that he said he would remove it. Asiwaju is not at fault. The sufferings of Nigerians, unfortunately, is sad. Everything is difficult. In 1976, Ebenezer Obey sang one song. Those who cannot hear Yoruba should ask somebody to translate it for them. And it was Ilule o kò sówó lóde, Ilule o kò sówó lóde, ọkùnrin kígbe, obìnrin kígbe, kálukú ló ń kígbe owó. The meaning is that in 1976, the same noise we are making now was the noise made in 1976. In year 2052, when we'll have gone, people will still continue to say it's not easy. I sympathize with them. But we have no choice than to remove the subsidy. The president has said and set up committees to find ways and means to cushion the effect. Nobody can solve the problem of the world. You can only do your best.
Governor Fauci
is doing his best.
Yeah. We cannot end this conversation without me asking you this question. Would you one day publish details of your the time in governance in Ekiti State? Because there is still a lot of questions being asked about your time as governor in Ekiti State, about the funds and the monies belonging to the Ekiti people and how you administered it. There are still those who are asking questions that yes, you did some projects, but that they're not commensurate to the cost of those projects, and they are asking questions. How did Governor Fayose amass the kind of wealth that he has? Is it when he was in government? How do you explain to the people of Ekiti State that you judiciously use the monies meant for Ekiti people, for the Ekiti people, and not for yourself? Would you one day be able to openly give details of all the monies that were put in your care as governor?
Sheung, that's a very meaningless question.
Really?
Very meaningless.
Really?
They've charged me to court. They charged me to court. Anybody who's not satisfied, take me to court. How can I be explaining how expecting? I'm one governor that never borrowed a dime. A dime. See, today in Ekiti, people cannot forget me for the good works I did. I'm not going to impress anybody. They don't forget, I was governor first tenure. I left after 8 years. I came back. Do you think I'm a pauper? You are a salary earner now. I'd made money before you became a presenter. So don't go there. Don't go there at all. Don't try it. If anybody's money is missing, let them go to court. Call police. CFCC is there now. They were in Ekiti for more than a month to investigate me. So if their money is missing, let them go to court now. That's an insult. You don't even want me to have money. I don't say that.
It's a matter of, if you are a public officer, the issue of accountability. If there are those who are asking questions, if there is nothing to hide, it's for you to let them know that you did your best.
I'm not going to let anybody know. Go send investigators to there where money is appropriated. Charge me to court. I'm not that small boy that somebody is threatening with court. What do you mean by I should start explaining myself? After me, Fayemi has come. So after 10 years, somebody will come and ask me, how did I spend money? If there anybody's money that is missing, you go to court now. I've done my best.
Governor Fayose, let me show you.
Governors. The issue here is that the moment a governor serves in Nigeria, they are all rooks. That is the mentality. There's no governor that has done well. It's a thankless job. No apologies. Let me show advised a few governors that are my friends. Do your best and leave the rest.
Let me show you let me show you this picture. And there are a lot of those who are already criticizing what happened between the governor of Ekiti State.
I can't see the picture.
Okay, it's a picture between the governor of Ekiti State and Baba Afe Babalola, the legal luminary, and that he prostrated to him. And those who are asking questions, should the governor prostrate and all of that? Let me get your view on it, because it's a major issue on the ground there in Ekiti State.
You see, I saw that I saw that picture on the social media. Let us commend this governor for his humility, uncommon humility. Oyebanji is another type of governor I have never seen. They will criticize Adebayo, he's too quiet. Fayemi is too smart. Fayose is too hard. What do they want? The man came, gave respect. He has been to my house 7 times. I didn't put him in office. He's gone to Fayemi, who and Adebayo, who are members of his party and leaders. He's gone to Chief Wole Olanipekun and the notable leaders of Ekiti. Please don't talk about that governor. He's doing well. He's a fantastic young man. Forget party. Oyebanji is still the best we can get now. Somebody prostrated. We must commend him. Don't we have culture?
All right.
So when my father was alive, each time my father comes to the government house, I go home. I prostrate flat. Even if I don't do that, my father will ask for it.
All right.
My children comes to me, they prostrate. Please, don't talk about Oyebanji. He's doing the best any governor can do. He's one of the best hands we have today. Somebody prostrated. If it's somebody like me that will not agree. By fighting Afe Babalola that time, I had a lot of issues. This man learned from our own mistakes and doing the right thing. No, don't talk about Oyebanji. It's the
Governor
best hand that he can get now.
We're out of time now, but we need to go. Thank you so much indeed for your time with us tonight on the program. A former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, thank you so much.